Yo, what is good, guys? Really fun day today. We had the Fed meeting. I personally made 6 trades, won all of them. Me and the Discord we made a lot of money today. If you're in there, you know what I'm talking about. So this shouldn't be too long of a video. It's just gonna be focused on SPY because I said I would do one right after the Fed meeting in my last video. So with that being said, we're just gonna get right into it. Make sure to show the video some love, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. So to start off, I'm just going to mention oil because, this is a pretty big thing I've been following. In my last video, I said we have this inverse head and shoulders. I was looking for that big reverse right away. That's what we got. We tested that double top. Now, I really haven't been looking at the longer time frame charts, and what I came across is we are at a very big spot right now. If you break this trend line, which we were finding resistance at, it's going to go on a multi-day run here. Just has to break this line and it's gonna fly. It's probably gonna be a multi-day rally if and once that happens. So on the weekly here, this is another big thing. The weekly MACD is going for a crossover. Same with the RSI trying to break out here. So really big spot here. We've been in this since 81, right here on this pullback. We literally got the bottom, and we've just been riding this whole thing up almost 5 figures now. So it's been going well. Another thing, so far, this is something we took profits on. This is on my Twitter. I said this was going to run. It's in this falling wedge. It had this double harmonic. All these other reasons, divergences, whatever. Go check the Twitter. You can see it. That's in the description, by the way. So we bought in here. We got those call options for early November. We sold right at open on earnings. It went up 17% gap up. Hit our target. We got out. Haven't looked back since. So that was 100% on those options, a little over. So that was a really nice trade. We made our money, we got out, and we're just now looking back. So I think it's on to SPY now. So I'm going to go over how I played today. And you don't have to watch this part. But for those who kind of want to learn how I played it and all the reasons that I did, well, that's what we're going to talk about right now. So which one is it? This one. So I didn't play that initial move. I made way more than I would have just catching even this entire move from the exact bottom to the exact top. I made way more catching all of these moves. So here I shorted at the top. We were at that 3900 level on ES, where this was a really big level. It was I showed you the book map yesterday. A lot of sell orders up there, so that's where we got rejected. 3900s. I'm going to zoom in on here because I was using this 3900. We could not breach it, so I shorted on SPY. I shorted at 387, 387.90, and I saw that we were in the channel. Bull flag. I knew it was going to break out at some point, so I got out just before that test. It broke out. I waited, and I shorted this because it was looking pretty weak. That's what we got. It was also because Jpow said something about the rate hikes, how they weren't going to stop, so I was expecting a pretty bad reaction from that. That's what happened. I sold at that double bottom. I didn't think we would break it on the first try just because that's such a big move down. And then I waited for this bounce. It was an expanding wedge, and I said this in the Discord. If you're not in there, I really recommend joining it. I'm not sure why you already are in there, but in expanding wedges, the side that is less steep is usually the side that gets broken. So I saw this being the less steep side, and I got in right before that test. We broke down. I sold on this because I wasn't sure how much it wanted to retrace, or if it was even going to hold the retrace, and it looked really weak right here. So I shorted again, and I held through this. The reason I held longer was because I didn't think it would hold this line on that next test. Just from my experience, just you kind of see things after looking at charts for so long. It just didn't look like it was going to hold this, so I held it all the way through, and once it started slowing down, I got out. I saw this phantom bar as well, which gave me some incentive to go long, as well as just slowing down. It was oversold a little, and I planned to get out when it tested this line. I really thought this had a lot of incentive to get tested, but I sold a little before that. There was also this line that I was really watching. Yeah, right here. So I sold right before this line, that previous low day, because I wasn't sure if we could even get past that. We squeezed above it, tested this line, and it could barely even hold up here. So I shorted again right before we would break this channel line, because I knew this would break as well, just like this. It's a flag or a channel. they have to reverse at some point. You can't just stay in a channel forever. That's not how it works. And the tighter they are, the sooner they usually break out. So enemy's looking really weak. We didn't hold this level, so I showed it again. I wrote it all the way down. Took profits down here. I believe it was right around here. I was looking for an end of day squeeze, and we kind of got it, but I did hold this because you'll see my explanation very soon, but I think we could get a bounce tomorrow. For you'll see what I'm talking about. So I think we're ready to go on. Yeah, I think we're ready to kind of just go over everything. So now I'm going to talk about how why I expected this drop. Now, you know, I've been waiting for this drop for kind of a while now, like a week, and it's finally happening. So first off, you had the 13 count on the VIX, you had the 13 count on SPY, which I was really stressing that yesterday. This gives you your reversals every time, especially the ones on SPY, which yeah, I'm going to go on to the daily because there's other stuff I want to show you on the daily, but yeah, you had your 9 count and then 10, 11, 12, so you really reverse around that area. I was really confident in that. I said, if we don't break down on the Fed meeting, we're going to break down very shortly after, and that's what happened. So, also on the daily, this was another thing I was looking at, the daily ADX. We were under 20, which means you're in a phase of accumulation or distribution, and you know, we've already run up, so this was not accumulation. It doesn't work like that. No one's accumulating up here. They were distributing, so I knew this was distribution. That was one reason that I knew we were ready to break down. On the 4 hour, the positive DI went through the ADX, so it wasn't in a confirmed bullish trend anymore, and that MACD was finding resistance up here. The RSI was testing its moving average, and so there were more reasons. You were in this wedge. There were so many reasons. There was no way you should have been bullish up here. You know, I said we might have a little more upside. The day after that, we gapped up. I took profits, and I don't think I traded that day. I waited until today. So, and I did a lot of trading. Then went very well. So, let me see, what else do I have? So, yeah, the 4 hour MACD, I showed you that. Yeah, so now we're going to zoom in a little more. Actually, oh, I almost forgot. On the daily, so this is an incentive for us to bounce. I don't want to forget this, so I'm just going to show you it now. The daily pivot, we are right at the daily pivot right now. If you can see that orange line right there, give me a second. I want to make sure you see this and see what I'm talking about. The daily pivot is a very big spot. You know, if you get under this pivot, the momentum changes. So I am looking for us to get underneath it. So eventually, I think we're gonna be underneath this pretty soon. But anyways, you'll see more of that. I just kind of want to explain a few more things. So the wedge here, yeah, we'll put everything back up. One more thing, yeah. So this wedge right here, these two white lines right here, we just broke down out of that, and we went so far. It's better on ES. Yeah, I'm going to show you this on here quick. And I also have some stuff to show you on ES. Give it a second. So, right now I'm just showing you a couple more reasons why we were getting this breakdown right now, or what happened actually. Yeah, right now we're sitting at the 0.382, and we're getting this reversal, which I expected, because you got your 9 count on the 2 hour, so we're already reversing. I actually saw this. I said it in the Discord, we're going to find relief in a couple hours. I said that like 2 hours ago, and that's what happened. We're getting relief right now. So, I'm going to show you the structure of what I think it'll look like going into tomorrow, actually. Because it's so volatile, I can really give you a tight time range here, or time frame here, for when all of this stuff is going to happen. So, back to SPY, or actually one more thing. We hit this target extension, 1.618. So really good incentive to bounce from you. That's just another reason for a bounce, besides the daily pivot here, which I just showed you right there. So this is the general structure I'm looking for. I want to clean this up. Let me take some stuff off. So this, I think that's, oh, and one more thing. So yeah, there we go. So now we can zoom in a little more. And so what I'm basing this off of is these demand zones and supply zones, where there's going to be incentive for people to become buyers and sellers. Now, these are the three main zones I've been watching. And I've been watching this zone for quite a while now, just because you will find buyers here. You definitely will find buyers here. So every time you enter these volume pockets, you go straight through. I've showed you that example plenty of times. We have a really big one in like 403 to 416, something like that. Every time you go in it, you go straight through, you go straight down. There's no in between. So just know, every time you enter volume pockets, it's very illiquid, so there's not really any buyers or sellers in there, and then we'll go through that zone to find buyers and sellers. So wherever that next area of incentive for people to be buyers or sellers. But this is the structure I'm looking for. You have this trend line, another incentive to bounce, but I think we're going to bounce from a demand zone to a supply zone to the next demand zone, which also just lines up with targets. So also this wedge measurement. So far we're at the 0.382. I showed you that on SoFi, happening on Bitcoin right now. Actually, we already hit that first target. I showed you that range. So we hit that 0.382 of this wedge right here, if you can see that. This wedge right here, we've already hit the first target, so technically you don't really have to go any higher, but I do think we will. We'll see what I'm talking about. So this is the general structure we're looking at. 30-minute MACD, this is another reason for a bounce here. 30-minute MACD is at support, so I either think we bounce from here, like here, we gap up, or we're going to keep selling off with absolutely no relief. So there's no in between. I don't think we're going to open flat. We do have unemployment numbers tomorrow, I believe. So that should give us a move, either if we move up before that happens and that sends us down in pre-market. That should give us a decent move. So there's not too much else I have to say. I showed you the demand zone, the supply zone, trend line, 30-minute MACD, daily pivot. ES is at that fib target. So yeah, I don't have anything else to show you. I'm just going to kind of show you the structure I'm looking for here. This is the structure. I would like to see us return to the low 380s, especially because of if this is one wave down, that's completed. Let's see how ES is doing. Yeah, bouncing still, holding well at that target, as well as that retrace target. And also, again, wedges, they don't have to retrace past the 0.382. So there's so much incentive to bounce from here. And if we don't, it should be a pretty nasty sell-off. But I do think that's kind of unlikely. The only reason is when you break down out of wedges, there's usually minimal structure. You don't need structure. So, like, for example, right here, this was a wedge that we broke down out of. Zero structure, zero relief. I believe this was a wedge breakout too. So, yeah, wedge breakout here, zero structure. So, you don't need structure here. But if you do, this is what it will look like. And if you hold this region, your next wave up would be to 410 to 420. So that would look like this. And I've been looking at this. I've been posting this exact structure for quite a while now. You got that nice gap at 410, which I think should get filled. Should get filled. Really nice gap. That looks like it wants to get filled. So there's not too much else I have to say. Join that Discord. We're making so much money in there. I might as well just show you right now. People doubling their accounts in a week. Like, see for yourself. Just join this Discord. Trust me on this one. There's a lot of money to be made in here. So, I would like to see you bounce tomorrow. I really don't think there's anything else I need to show you. So, to summarize it, I would like to see you bounce tomorrow. I don't think it doesn't have to last too long. It could be done in a day. But a bounce to the low 380s and then down to the high 360s into this demand zone. And if that doesn't happen, we're just going to fall straight down to that demand zone. And if this doesn't hold, new lows could be in the picture, 320 to 340. But I do think it's more likely to get that crash in the beginning of next year in like February, March. based on cyclical analysis. So that's all I have for this video. Join the Discord. Just hop in there, see for yourself. We'll see how the next few days go, and I'll give you guys that weekend video. But for now, that's all you need. Yeah, peace out, guys.